Welcome back. You're watching Brand Equity and I'm Sonali Krishna. Now, earlier this year in April, WPP launched its marketing foresight consultancy called Game Theory that has been housed within Group M. Game Theory, which is 200 people and an office in New York City, rolls together two existing WPP agencies. That's the London-based Marketing Effectiveness Agency, or HAL, and the Bangalore-based data analytics firm, Meritus. Jason Harrison, who was previously the CIO at Maxis, has taken the role of CEO at Game Theory. Well, I caught up with Jason during his recent India visit to get a sense of what Game Theory can provide to clients that isn't already on offer. Take it away. Thank you so much for joining us, Jason. Truly a pleasure having you on Brand Equity.
My pleasure.
So, before I get into the specifics of Game Theory, let's just flash back a little bit and talk about, Game Theory's launch, earlier in the year in April. What exactly is Game Theory all about?
Yeah.
And what was the motivation for WPP to launch Game Theory?
Game Theory is a marketing foresight consultancy. And
Right.
so what that means basically is that we help brands and marketers understand the return they get for what they spend in advertising and marketing. And we engage in data collection and analytical techniques to help optimize the way that marketers can actually market and choose channels and tactics to get customers to buy their products, simply put.
Right. Jason, so while I get you completely when you say that, your primary job is to, ensure that marketers are getting better ROI and are investing, in right channels, but isn't that a media agency's job?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily our job to ensure that they're getting the ROI. Our job is to give them a point of view on what's effective and what isn't.
Just to understand what you mean by that, isn't that also a media agency's job?
In theory, yeah, and in fact, we have media agencies within WPP and within Group M, and we are a part of Group M as well. Yeah. And they do that work every day for their clients as well. So Game Theory was really formed actually as an offering for those clients who prefer an independent entity to evaluate their performance of their media plans and campaigns, separate to the people that are actually making the tactical decisions.
For a moment, let's assume I'm a client, right? And my agency is Mindshare.
Yep.
What would my motivation be to not only work with Mindshare, but also get you on board? Because I'm already so confused in today's highly complex landscape where I'm dealing with so many specialized agencies. My life is really quite horrible.
Yeah.
And to add another layer, and to get you on board as a consultant, a performance consultant, wouldn't clients look at that as, yet another layer and, something that, technically your media agency should be doing in the first place?
Yeah, in that specific example, we would not actually be in the mix with Mindshare because we have a rule internally that we don't necessarily pursue clients who are already working with one of the agencies in an analytical sense inside the family. So in that specific scenario, that wouldn't be an issue because we would not approach a client of Mindshare to provide them with analytical support.
No Group M agency,
yeah.
Basically.
But in the scenario where it's another client, or if that client of Mindshare said, we prefer to have somebody independent evaluating the decisions that you, Mindshare, make in terms of media planning and buying. In theory, we could be brought into the mix in that scenario, but mostly we are dealing direct to market with clients that don't already work with one of the Group M agencies or already have a relationship inside of Group M.
You would also be doing a lot of data crunching, right, as Game Theory. So is there a sense you've got, and you've mentioned that, you've been traveling to India quite often and you've been interacting with a lot of clients here. What's the sense you've got about Indian companies? Have they taken to big data? And the point is that the larger point really being everybody talks about big data, but nobody knows what to do with that data or even channelize that data.
Yeah.
So it's all like it's great jargon and it's cool to talk about.
Yep.
So everybody talks about it here and in Cannes and everywhere else in the world. But I mean, in India specifically, because this is a market I'm familiar with, nobody's really got a grip of what to do with this so much data. In fact, people are talking about forget big data. Let's first talk about small data. Do you have a sense of what Indian brands and Indian marketers are talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly on people's mind, and I think the reality of data today in marketing is that the availability of so many more data points about an individual company's operations, about their products, about their customers, about the way customers are behaving with products. So much exists that it's created an expectation on the part of marketers that they should be able to use it to do things better, smarter, faster. And I think living up to that expectation has been difficult, and that's definitely on the minds of some of the companies and the marketers that we've talked to.
On another note, given the fact that we have so much information, there's so much analytics talk, right? We're so focused about knowing our customer. Despite that, don't you think today, whether it's on your mobile phone or on the web or I'm not talking about screens which are force-fitted like television, there is just so much interruption that it's almost annoying. So despite having such an evolution in terms of data collection and data mining, and one actually claiming to know the customer, there is just the levels of irritation and interruption for the consumer are possibly at their highest levels today. What do you have to say to that?
I mean, I would say that you just made the case for exactly why we need to be smarter and more targeted about who we talk to as marketers. Because the fact is, we're sending messaging out to people for whom it has no relevance. And the opportunity to fine-tune messages that are appropriate and in context for a customer that's in a place to receive that message, and they've done something, behaved in some way to indicate that they want that message, I think cuts down on exactly the kind of scenario that you're describing. And so if the industry moves in that direction, it gives us an opportunity for marketing and advertising to actually be much more relevant and much more targeted.
Great. That was truly insightful, and all the very best, Jason.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.